Hey guys, welcome back to Data Science Sessions episode 2. My name is Ariston, and on this channel I do data science, programming, computer science, and math, and maybe other stuff in the future, but for now, yep, data science and data analysis is the focus, specifically data analysis. Data analysis. That's a struggle word. Okay, let's go on to the one point of improvement, because, this channel is about self-improvement and growth and stuff, apart from math and all that other stuff. But the point of improvement for today is super simple. Talk better. Um, I think when it comes to self-improvement, improving your speech, improving your um, level of expression, your clarity in the way you pronounce words. This might be a subjective thing. People might say, "Oh, you have a good voice. Your voice is all good, bro." But at the end of the day, speaking in certain ways makes it so that other people have less resistance or, friction when it comes to understanding the message you're trying to deliver. So, if you watch any of my other videos, you know that I have a notepad, the sticky notes that I pull up on the screen, and I take note of the words and the sounds that I have a hard time saying. And that's just the pronunciation. That doesn't even have anything to do with pitch, the way I structure my sentences, my grammar, but it's just one point of improvement. So in this video, I'll try and deliver better. Actually, just before this video, I was doing my vocal warm-up so I can work on my English. And I'm currently working on my S and Z sounds like rice and rise, like rice, the food, the fucking Asian food, and rise, like the rising sun. So it's one thing I'm working on. Anyways, let's get to the data science. Welcome to week 2. Let's start with this. I got copyright struck, copyright stricken.
Welcome to week 2 of Intro Week, but it's worth repeating.
Um,
All business analysis.
I got copyright stricken on my YouTube channels. Not strike, claim. That's what it is, and they allowed for me to keep the video on my channel, which is all good. Okay. Also, let me timestamp. Coursework starts 2:45. Let's say 2:50.
Business analytics, and data analytics. And you learn the foundational steps of the
Okay, and last week we talked about the different sister branches of business intelligence, business analytics. Okay, and what are we looking at here? Let me just make this higher quality.
and you learn the foundational steps of the business analysis process.
Yep,
This week it's time to start diving deeper into data analytics.
data analytics. Okay, so what is business analytics? Business analysts do business analysis process.
You'll first learn why analytics is so important for a business, as well as the 4 types of analytics before exploring the data analytics.
Okay, so we're gonna learn about analytics, the data analytics life cycle. I remember doing the Google certificate, and we talked about the life cycle as well. And I don't really remember much about it, but one of the key parts is destroying the data afterwards. That sounds kind of messed up without context, but um, it's like for the security of the company, I think.
Analytics lifecycle.
You don't want to
This
just
week,
have
if
the
you feel your
data
motivation start to slip
sitting
a bit,
around.
or if you start to feel like this is for your why, get why.
And then I remember talking shit about everyone else. Like, come on, it took me like 5 minutes to get to week 2, so you know what I'm saying? Okay. Imagine that this past week you watched 3 Marvel movies, okay? Netflix has thousands of movies to choose from, which can be difficult for the user to sift through, okay? Track user actions to collect and analyze user data in order to provide these recommendations. Mm. Yep, that's pretty straightforward. You can think about the users as being rows in an Excel spreadsheet, and the columns there's going to be a bunch of attributes like watch time for this genre or that genre, or what's the highest, lowest watch times, everything. You know how much you can do with JavaScript, and like that's just JavaScript. JavaScript's super simple. Well, actually, it's not super simple. It's actually very complicated. But you can track everything down to the last click, the last mouse movement, the last finger gesture, finger swipe on app like Netflix. So insights, you know, if we had infinite computing power, we would literally leverage all of this possible like data tracking, but we don't. So we have to dumb it down just a bit, but it's still very advanced if you don't do data science, data engineering, if you don't know much about it. Okay. Data is being collected all around us. Yep. Have a phone or a computer. Yep, that's what I'm trying to say. We need more analysts because we have too much data, and very little people can actually harness the data, put it into a dashboard, interpret it, track choose meaningful data trends to track. Okay. Explore real examples of analysis in the industry. Okay. Data is powerful. Yep. Yep. Okay, as you have already learned, analytics is the process of discovering and interpreting meaning from data collected. This can be described as manipulating, wrangling, and processing data in a way that allows us to discover patterns and trends. For example, by grouping similar users on Netflix, it may be apparent that Marvel movie fans also typically enjoy science fiction. These patterns and trends are known as insights. Yep. Formally, we would like in statistics, we would formally prove this with significance testing or hypothesis testing. Because here it says it may become apparent that Marvel movie fans also typically enjoy science fiction. So in a spreadsheet or a database or a data set, you would do some kind of significance testing or like correlation testing. I'm really bad at memorizing stuff. That's not true. It's just because it's been almost a year since I took papers in university where we were doing like parametric parametric testing, non-parametric testing, and then effect sizes, significance testing, correlation testing, lots of tests. Like compared to calculus, statistics has a fuck ton of like arbitrary tests you just kind of have to remember exist. You don't have to remember the nitty-gritty, but you need to know that these tools exist. Okay, Netflix builds relationships between similar users. Yep, patterns. That's what we're looking at. Is a tool that turns data into insights. Creates the data pipeline, as depicted below, can be leveraged by businesses in order to make informed decisions to solve problems, increase performance, or benefit their users' experiences. Data, analytics, insights. Okay. Analytics. Yep. Just repeating itself now. Like, I think this is very interesting, and there's a lot of content, but I feel like this could be summed down into like one or two sentences at most, maybe three. Hey, data-driven. Remember the Netflix recommendation example from the introduction? Netflix is an example of a company that has moved towards a data-driven business model because it's collecting data. Data-driven business, yep. Yeah, exactly. Well, the term data-driven business I feel is kind of bullshit because like if you're an e-com like more businesses thrive on data than thrive on being data-driven than not. So it's kind of redundant to say data-driven um business. Okay, or it could be a massive decision, decision. How to expand the company. DirecTV uh, use data analysis to discover an opportunity to save money and retain customers after analyzing customers' age and their job location. found that people who move to a new home are likely to change or try out new television service providers. Okay, boom, yep. This analysis provided both positive and negative insights. The bad news was that people who use DirecTV were likely to change service providers if they decided to move. But it also meant that DirecTV could target people who are moving in order to gain new customers. DirecTV decided to run an experiment to test this, and collect more data. The type of experiment they ran was an A/B test. Okay, this is pretty important. I mentioned this in like um what is it called? The trailer of my channel, Data Science Sessions Prologue, episode zero, episode 0. An A/B test is an experiment designed to consider how small a difference in a campaign might change customer or user behavior. In the simplest of terms, it is a test used to compare two or more versions of something to figure out which one performs better. The A/B test used a list from UPS of recent movers to find people who were moving and provide them with two offers, version A, version B. I think that, okay, here's an example of what A/B testing is, okay? Let's use Lemonade. So, hmm, let me think. Okay, um, in a perfect setting, um, version A and version B would be given the same sample pool, but in the real world you can't really do that. So my example of an A/B test would be selling lemonade at a lemonade stand and simultaneously, so you have two lemonade stands next to each other. If everything else is kept constant and one lemonade stand sells one with slightly more sugar and the other with slightly less sugar, you want to basically run both businesses for long enough to see which lemonade people actually buy. But the thing with the A/B test is the people in the sample pool or the subjects in the sample pool should not know there is a version A or a version B. They should just, you know, take one or the other and not really know, because then you introduce more like confounding variables and stuff. So, yeah. And then they learn that version B is better. Pretty easy. You'll now read more. Do we want to read about it? Maybe. Something wrong. Okay. They have not updated this in a while. That is fine. Okay. One example of a recent data-driven internal business decision is Kickstarter's decision to consider moving to a 4-day work week. Kickstarter looked at externally collected data from other companies that have used this 4-day work week model. From this data, they decided that it may benefit the company to use the schedule and wondered if their employees would be happier and more productive as a result. Guys, I'm just gonna say it like here, right? Kickstarter is a big company, but I'm just saying like there are many companies out there, I know because I worked for them, that will make rash decisions like this which aren't really based, and it's just because you're fucking the big boss heard from his friend that it is a good idea, so he does it, you know? It's like your mom hearing about the benefits of this herbal tea and then kind of giving it to everyone in her friend group and her family. It sometimes it's like that. This might sound like super big brain business shit, but it's like, maybe that's not the case, you know? So just be aware that when you read stuff like this, it could be very like buzzwordy and hypey. So, a lot of these courses and stuff, I'm really just looking for the technical, um, improving my technical skills as opposed to like reading this shit, because I can form my own opinions on the fly. Okay, Kickstarter is using a test first approach, which means the business is testing the new idea in order to analyze its worth before fully implementing the idea. Company could jump to conclusions about a 4-day work week based on external data, but their business may react differently. Additionally, within the business world, there is a concern that paying employees to work fewer days each week should slow down productivity while keeping payroll costs the same. Instead of speculating or making a decision solely based on how this model has worked at other companies, Kickstarter decided to test the idea and collect internal data on the matter. Okay, this is good because them confounding variables, like Kickstarter tested the idea on their own team, as opposed to just listening and looking at the results of other companies. And this makes sense because if you really want to look into it, every company is different. Every company conducts their, research and development differently. So it's pretty cool they did that. Then they analyzed the data and made an informed decision on whether or not it made sense to continue practicing this idea. After a successful pilot, okay, 4-day work week. Yeah. These examples show that large businesses like Kickstarter and DirecTV are able to leverage data to solve real-world problems. And yeah, that's the one thing. Like large businesses, I would not recommend, even for myself, I don't look forward to working for a small business that doesn't actually value and lean on data-driven decision making. Because if you work as a data analyst for a company like that, you're not actually, um, I guess, crucial in the eyes of management, which, you want to be respected by your superiors and stuff. Okay, many of their accomplishments are thanks to data that was collected, analyzed, and turned into actionable insights. However, the process of analysis does not always result in high quality insights for a business, which can add a layer of complexity in practice. In practice, analytics involves investigating and manipulating the data in different iterations until practical, actionable insights are uncovered. Take a moment to review the key traits that make up a data-driven business. Okay, key traits. It, strategy is based on observable information rather than gut feelings. Correct. Structure revolves around collecting lots of data and then analyzing and gaining insights. Correct. Business uses a test-first approach with new ideas. Correct. Yep. The business is constantly striving to improve in order to keep up with data trends. Yep. That's all good. Now you understand what a data-driven business looks like in the real world. Yep. Boom. Next. Okay, this is an assignment. Practice assignment. Oops. What time is it? Yeah, we'll just say 18. Okay, this should be pretty straightforward. Sorry about the audio, by the way. I was listening back to my audio these past couple videos and I realized it's pretty bad compared to what I had before. But again, if you didn't know, I'm actually on vacation right now. I'm on my brother's computer. It's kind of like a business trip, but yeah, came here to be very productive. What is meant by the data pipeline? It's not a machine learning model. Moves through a network? Maybe. How businesses. The data pipeline describes how businesses collect data, which is then analyzed to discover patterns and trends known as insights. First and second are wrong. Third kind of makes sense, but it sounds too technical and it sounds too related to networking because it says how information moves through a network in order to be stored and analyzed. Too technical, too related to networking. True or false? A data-driven decision in a business that uses data, analytics, and insights to support its everyday business decision making. Uh, True or false? True. Which of the following is a key trait of a data-driven business? Select all that apply. The business strategy is based on observable information rather than gut feelings. Yes. The business implements new features or processes based on historical data without testing the new approach first. Wrong. But why is it wrong? Let me explain. It's wrong because you should test the new approach first, you know. Um, that's like the scientific method. You don't want to deploy um, deploy without testing first in a controlled environment, I guess, or in a isolated environment. The business's organizational structure revolves around collecting lots of data. Yes, the business doesn't feel the need to improve constantly as long as its data shows it's maintaining a positive revenue. Wrong. Why is it important for a business to utilize analytics and insights? Um, okay, let's make this like succinct. Make it short. It is important. Why is it important for a business to be data driven? Is basically the question. The importance of being a data driven. Is that how you spell business? Yeah. Um, lies in being able to stay objective when making both big and small decisions. Ideas, insights give us clarity on where the business and its many moving parts are in our grand plan. Submit. Let's see if I get owned. I didn't get owned. Okay, types of analytics. 22. You know have an end you know you now have an understanding of why some businesses structure their decision making. Let me zoom in a bit. Around the data they collect. However, it may not yet be apparent how businesses actually apply analytics to achieve their business goals and solve the problems they may face. This will depend on the type of business problem the company is trying to solve. To address various business problems, there are four different types of analytics commonly practiced: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. The breakdown of how businesses use these four types of analytics is summarized in the image below. Okay, analytics, and then there's four: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Okay, so I'm not looking at the freaking these zones down here just yet. I just want to read them and kind of interpret them myself, you know. Descriptive, okay, you're just talking about it's like descriptive statistics, I guess. Trying to describe what it is. Diagnostic, trying to explain why it is. So this is like what it is, why it is, and then what it's going to be. And fuck, I don't know. Okay, let's read. Describe the present or past. Okay, that makes sense. Answer why something happened. Yep. Predict or forecast the unknown. Okay, forecasting. Okay, that makes sense. And then this is to maximize or minimize an already determined objective. I'm not sure what that one means. Descriptive statistics. Okay, this is super important. Analytics is one of the most commonly practiced analysis of data. It does not draw inferences or make predictions from its findings. Descriptive analytics uses current and historical data to identify trends and relationships. And then this is a Tableau dashboard. Um, its name is marketing. I suppose this is some kind of e-commerce or website dashboard. It's talking about the visitors, the new versus returning visitors, and then it has a bunch of metrics here, you know, leads, browsers, what does this say? Site visitors, page views, LinkedIn visitors, top page views, yeah. So this is like the vitals of a website essentially. You get to see what's happening, what's trending, who's viewing our stuff from where are they coming from, what browsers are being used. Okay. Descriptive analytics includes common math and statistics tools such as measures of center, averages, percent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Such as line. Okay, so let me just dumb this down real quick, okay? Descriptive analytics is literally you just describing the data as it is. You go out, you go into the spreadsheet, you clean it a bit, and then you look at the mean, the median, the mode, you know, standard deviation, the max. You look at the shapes, you look at the distributions. You're just describing the data as it is. It's observations, essentially. You're not interpreting it just yet. These are like objective features of your data. Diagnostic and analytics. Okay, so it takes it one step further, it says here, literally. So you find these objective features of your data. You look at the patterns, you look at the trends, you look at the mean, median, mode, all of that stuff, the spread, the central tendency. Then you say why. Why is it like that? Why are our sales down from last week? Why is this specific? Why is there a little dip downwards or upwards in our sales? Why did we have zero site visitors on Sunday, whereas every other site visitor, every other day of the week we had like thousands of site visitors, you know? So diagnostic analytics is literally just descriptive analytics, and then you explain why it is. Pretty easy. What does it say here? Consulting firms help manufacturing companies apply analytics to identify the main cost drivers in manufacturing process. Yep. Predictive analytics, I would just call this forecasting. You need lots of time series analysis, specialization. I just did a paper in forecasting. We used R, we used FEP3. Forecasting, uh, what is it's forecasting principles or principles in practice. Yeah, that's the one. Prescriptive analytics, this is like um a more senior role because so after you explain what it is, then why it is, you have to explain like, okay, what now? And this is probably a responsibility that won't go on to me because it's quite a senior responsibility, but once you get to this point where you're prescribing solutions as a business analyst or business intelligence worker, you're pretty fucking well respected if your boss is essentially saying he's putting you in a place of okay, so what do you want me to do? So it's a pretty good place to be. Okay. Which analytics should you use? Okay. Let me just check the time because I have a training session with my brother. One way to figure out which type of analytics to use is to determine, okay, yeah, you may want to apply multiple types of analytics. So there's four. You describe it, you diagnose why, you predict. So these aren't necessarily in order, you know. Actually, maybe it is. Maybe they could be used in order, as with many things. Yep. Value and difficulty. Yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. But why does it make sense? Okay. This is kind of what I said. Fuck, it's pretty funny. Yeah, prescribing is like the hardest, but it's also the most important because until you've actually proposed and deployed the solution, your data doesn't mean shit. So predictive this is kind of this is difficult because you have to predict and you have to deal with confidence intervals and you have to know what kind of model this involves like statistical modeling to forecasting models. That's what I'm trying to say. Diagnostic, oh yeah, definitely harder than descriptive, but less punishing compared to the other types of analytics, because you're just trying to explain why. If you explain why wrong, it could be catastrophic or not. And then descriptive is like, oh, dude, you just go in there and you use your eyes and you tell them what you see. Okay, practice assignment 2. 3045. Let's get this read. Which of the following are included in the 4 types of analytics mentioned in this module? Select all that apply. This. The others are not. I know because I memorize. Which type of analytics is used to forecast the unknown? Predictive. Which type of analytics is used to describe the present or the past? Descriptive. Which type of analytics is used to answer why something happened? Diagnostic. Used to maximize or minimize an already determined objective. Prescriptive. One way to figure out which type of analytics to use is to determine what question the business wants to answer. Which of the following answer choices correctly lines up the type of analytics with the questions the business wants to answer? Okay, it would be this. Prescriptive is what should we do about it? Let's go through the others and explain why they're wrong. So descriptive, why is it happening? That should go to diagnostic. And what happened, how many, how often, that should go to descriptive. And then what could happen, what is happening next, should be unpredictive. Easy. Okay, let's do this. And then later we'll do the data data analytics. This is the fucking wrong word to name my YouTube channel after. I cannot pronounce this shit to save my life. Analytics, data analytics, data analytics. It feels like I just can't say it like properly. Ruru. Apply analytics to a business. Congratulations, you were just hired as a business analyst for Reliance Retail, a large grocery store. Your first project is to analyze sales data. You have access to data for what products were purchased, when they were purchased, and who purchased them. Your first task your first task is to look over data from the last 4 months, June to September. As you look through the data, you notice a giant increase in sales and then a giant drop in sales within those months. The deputy manager of the business analytics department has asked you to identify patterns and trends to figure out what happened. Please respond to the following prompt and read the response of your peers. Describe one way that Reliance Retail could use either descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, or prescriptive analytics to understand the increase and decrease in sales over the 4-month period. Important notice to all students, we'll never ask you to join, blah blah blah, okay. To understand the increase and decrease in sales over the 4-month period. Okay. We can utilize diagnostic and descriptive analytics to better understand the the situation of the increase, decrease, exact situation. I guess we can say playing field. It's a bit informal, but You get what I mean? Like we can understand, okay, by how much has it increased? By how much has it decreased? In what time frame? What was the deviation? Was it just low, low, low all the time, high, 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 or was it up, low, up, down, up, down, up, down, and just averaged up and down? You know? So how would I say this? We can utilize that understand the exact, I guess, the patterns and features of this 4-month sales period and perhaps draw conclusions as to why these are down, any particular meaningful events that happened in this duration. Boom. Happy with that. Time is it? Okay, give me a second, guys. I will frickin' script and I'm gonna go train. Hello, I'm back. My neck fucking hurts. I don't know what from. This gym session was a pretty odd one. Um, yeah. Anyways, let's go through this. Data analytics lifecycle. Okay. Data analytics lifecycle. What time is it? 36:50. I've been thinking, guys. I think I'm gonna do like 3 hours of one video per day instead of trying to do like 2 hours, 2 hours. Like I thought it would work out, but my average like time spent being productive in a day doesn't actually increase. If anything, I think it actually decreases. So, yes, okay, suppose blah blah blah. The company has set goals for sales numbers that it would like to reach by the end of the quarter. These numbers are important to hit because the startup needs to show growth to its investors in order to raise more capital. You and your team are tasked with predicting what the future quarterly results for sales might look like. The goal is to get an estimate as to whether the company is on track to meet these numbers or not. You may wonder where to begin to tackle this large data problem. As a business intelligence analyst, you may be tasked to work on many large data projects. It is important to understand how database projects are managed to ensure your team is working efficiently and achieving the best results possible. The data analytics lifecycle describes the entire process of how data is created, collected, manipulated, in, and analyzed in order for businesses to complete their project goals, such as predicting whether a startup is on track to reach its quarterly numbers. There is a general framework or structure to this lifecycle that helps guide analysts through the data analysis process. Discovery, preparation, model, planning, building, communicating results, operationalize. As depicted above, the structure can be broken down into 6 main topics: discovery, preparation, planning, building, you know. Okay, so identifying a set of data that will fit the scope of the project. Yep. Taking all steps that relate to updating and altering the data before modeling. Mapping out how a model will utilize the data to meet a project goal. As an analyst, you would test a few ideas for modeling. Yep. Testing, training, and utilizing the model and dataset. This is more advanced because we're talking about statistical models here. It's testing and training. I don't think, well, at least in New Zealand, many of the business intelligence roles are not that technical. When you say testing and training models, it goes more into actual data science, which I highly doubt is the case in most workplaces. I think most workplaces just use data science and data analysis as like a buzzword, but really you're still just working with an Excel spreadsheet, some automation, some visualization, etc. Communicating results, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Operationalize, taking action based on the findings of the project. If the predicted numbers meet the goals, blah blah blah, meet the goals originally set for the quarter, the startup knows that they are on the right trajectory. If the projected numbers do not meet the goals, the company must reevaluate how to reach these numbers. In fact, this could be your analytics team's next project. Give me a second, guys. Let me just grab my drink. Back. Okay. You may not fully understand some of these concepts yet, such as what goes into modeling data. However, you will have a strong grasp of each phase of the cycle by the end of this certificate. By following the cycle, businesses can decide whether to revisit an earlier phase or progress further in a project in order to guarantee the best data analysis for the business problem. Okay, let's read. Okay, these are questions and stuff we ask ourselves. Yes, no, yes, no. Okay, so data discovery. Do I have all the necessary info to start an analytics plan? Okay. Yes, you go on. No, you keep discovering. Do I have enough data, enough quality data, and in the right formats to begin modeling? Yes, you go into model planning. No, you keep, cleaning it. You keep doing a bunch of stuff. You prepare the data so it's like friendly to model, friendly to work with. Model planning. Does the model chosen, does the model I've chosen address the problem at hand? Yes, you move on. No, keep planning, buddy. Same thing, model building. Is the model good enough? Move on. Communicating results. Are the stakeholders happy? Boom, next. And then pretty straightforward. Notice that there are questions in the bubbles. Yeah. Upgraded, ungraded plugin, analytics lifecycle framework. Hmm, that's cool. Yeah. Hmm. To the left is a diagram of the data analytics lifecycle. This cyclic method is used to represent and differentiate the work phases that analysts will move through as they use analytics to solve their business goals. Each phase is as crucial as the next. If not performed properly, a team may return to an earlier stage in order to correct their methods. Okay. This workflow is used to achieve the best results and to ensure that the analytics team is working as efficiently as possible. Fuck, I did not mean to do that. Okay, data discovery. What is data discovery? It's the first phase in the life cycle, all about the initial project building. This also means working to align the data to best fit the business goals. This includes defining the project objectives. So essentially, you're discovering your company's data or the data of the project you're working on. Um, if you're working in retail, you might be looking at the point of sale data. You might be working with a data warehouse that data engineers have, um, I guess, built in the past and are currently now implementing for the company. Identifying the best tools to tackle the problem. You got to think like, how do you access the data? How do you communicate with the data? Is it big data? What kind of data is it? Um, how clean is the data once it's collected generally? All of these things. So really, you're just having to play around. Um,
To tackle
why?
the problem.
Oh, right. Okay. There's like an audio you can play. I'd rather just read and work on my reading. Okay, data prep. This phase is called data preparation because you're getting the data ready to be modeled. If you guys haven't done much data analysis, and I've done papers on data analysis, um, exploratory data analysis specifically, it's really just looking into a data set, or if you're working with a bigger company, you might be working with a database instead, which is like a data set on crack, you know. You have to prepare the data, you have to format the data so you can actually um, run descriptive statistics commands and code and queries on the data. This includes getting familiar with the data set. This includes getting familiar with the data set by exploring fields and doing a high-level investigation of the variables you have to work with. During data preparation, the team may also decide that they need more data, to clean the data, or to manipulate it in a way that makes it more useful to the business objective. Okay, and then, so you've looked at the data, you've prepped it, you've cleaned it for querying and, you know, describing it. No, no, not describing it actually. For modeling. You prep it for modeling. And then model planning means deciding which existing model will best answer the problems the business is trying to tackle. This might also mean crafting an entirely new model. The team often uses this descriptive analytics to better understand variables and the relationships that they have with each other. The team will usually pick the key variables to investigate and the most suitable models in this phase. The model building phase is the execution phase. The team implements the previous steps in order to gain insights. This stage involves identifying key findings, finding the value for the business, and beginning to develop a narrative that will be used to convey the story to stakeholders. If the findings are not valuable, the team may return to earlier phases to realign the project with the original objectives. Okay, so the model building, it doesn't really go into depth. What is a model? You know, you hear this and it's like, huh? A model might be mm, like a statistical model, um, a hypothesis testing model, a testing model, a prediction model. There are different kinds of statistical models. They serve different purposes. Like you have forecasting models like ARIMA, winter models, Holt's winter model, exponential time series models, for example. Those are all to do with forecasting, and forecasting is just predicting into the future based on like previous data and trends. You might have frickin' I'm not sure if it's technically like considered, but like um yeah, but anyways, I don't want to go into too much detail about that. Let's just move on. Communicating results, okay. A narrative has been built. Whoops. Team finally has a story to tell. Now the objective is to communicate the results to the stakeholders so that they can understand the hard work your team has completed. In this phase, the team will share the data used, the experiment design, and key findings to the audience. This stage is crucial as stakeholders will be the determining force in whether action will be taken or not. So really, to sum this down into like one sentence, you gotta communicate what you find without jargon and make it so that the stakeholders see see what they need to see and hear what they need to hear. But they can't hear like them hearing you spit out jargon or complicated data analysis shit is just as good as them not hearing anything at all. So, don't piss them off, communicate clearly, make it sweet, make it less stressful. Okay. Operationalize. If action is to be taken based on findings in phase 5, the operationalize phase is where the insights are turned into actions. The team uses the findings in order to implement changes to the business, which is usually done in the form of a pilot program or trial run. Yep, so this is like one big like deployment phase. At the beginning of your deployment phase, before you know, go out and change your business, make your business decisions, like actually change your plan of action or modify it, you want to test it in isolation. It's kind of like if you have an app and you want to roll out an update, you want to test it first. You don't want to be fucking, Friday night, Friday evening, and you just, okay, I've built the app, time to launch this new release. Like, no, you want to put the new release into like a beta. You want to like put it into the real world in an isolated environment to minimize any damage or any cascading like destructive effects or negative effects that it has that were unseen. Okay, this is part of the test first approach. Yep, makes sense. If effective, the pilot program will turn into a business improvement. If not effective, the team may return. Pretty, pretty easy. Yep, super basic. Okay. Reading. I like reading. Six phases of the data anal 6 phases of the data let's do this again. 6 phases of the data analytics lifecycle framework. As the interactive visual introduced, there are 6 phases that make up the data analytics lifecycle framework. Each phase is vital in reaching the end goals of the project. Now that you have an understanding of each phase, let's dive deeper into a real example at Uber. I actually work as an Uber Eats driver, guys, so this is gonna be pretty interesting for me. Um, I do Uber Eats because I'm broke and because it's flexible, but also because it's pretty fun. You drive around and you freaking make money and you don't have a boss to report to. It's pretty lit. Anyways, note that this article note that this article will share more advanced concepts that will not be covered in this course. You're not required to read the article, but it does have technical insights about Uber's A/B testing for this project. Okay, I'm not gonna read this actually because it says it's not required, so I shouldn't be tested on this. Um, and for these next couple of weeks, I want to be working on my Tableau, so I shouldn't really be dicking around too much with lots of this unnecessary stuff. But for these practice assignments and whatnot, I need to actually try, So, practice assignment 3, practice assignment 3. What time is it? 52:17. So yeah, today I think I'm just gonna try go for 2 hours on this and make it count. Which of the following best describes the data analytics lifecycle? Linear process. Okay, so it's not linear because sometimes you have to go back. And even if you go back, it might not just be by one step. So it's forward and backward. So not linear. A process where data is, okay, let's do top to bottom. So not the first. The process of how data is created, collected, manipulated, and analyzed for business goals. That sounds pretty good. The process of storing and archiving data to maintain a clear record. No. A process where data is discovered and then operationalized to make improvements to a business. So this is almost right, but it's too specific. It's only 2 parts. Discovery and operationalization. So I'm gonna say it's the second part because there's more than just discovery and, action. True or false? All data analytics lifecycle frameworks share similar themes in their phases, though the specific divisions or the structure will vary slightly across organizations, industries, and analysts. Yeah, I might agree. Similar themes, specific divisions of structure will vary differently from organizations. Yeah, that makes sense. If you said false, then it did say that this is wrong. So, which of the following are the main topics or phases of a analytics lifecycle framework? Select all that apply. Discovery, it goes discovery, preparation, model building, no, model planning, model building, communicating results, and then operationalize. Everything else is fake news. In the Uber customer support example that you read about, the company confirmed that they had 5 different sources of customer data and that this is the data. Okay, let me read this again. In the Uber customer support example that you read about, the company confirmed that they had 5 different sources of customer data and that this is the data that they wanted to use in order to solve this particular problem. At what stage of the data analytics lifecycle framework did they make this decision? Decision. My God. I'm slowly getting better, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Ha. Sorry. Not sorry. Okay. Confirmed that they had 5 different sources of customer data. And this is the data they wanted to use. I must say discovery, like, they just confirmed it, So everything else doesn't really make sense. Big money. Week 2 recap. And then the graded assignment. Before completing the graded assessment for this week, review the following key takeaways and key terms. What are the 4 types of analytics and how are they used differently? Okay. Yep, I remember this. Descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive. Okay. And then the data analytics lifecycle. Pretty easy. Let's do the graded assignment. Grade assignment. Oh shit. I know that was right. How do you let's control Y? Maybe this. Oh my god. 56, 37, 37. Yep, okay. Okay, let's start this and hopefully I don't have to redo it again. It is 10 questions, so it's pretty short. True or false, the data analytics pipeline is the 3-step process of converting data to insights using analytics. False, there's more than 3 steps. What does it mean to be a data-driven business? Okay, so it just means, making your decisions based on data. Super easy. Start. Focuses on the data that supports its decisions and ignores the data not. A data-driven business is a business that focuses most of its. Oh my God, I'm murmuring. I can't even say murmur right. A data-driven business is a business that focuses, focuses, focuses. A data-driven business is a business that focuses most of its efforts on collecting as much data as possible. A data-driven business is a business that uses data, analytics, and insights to support its everyday business decision making. Okay. S and Z sounds like really hard for me. True or false? The 4 types of data analytics are descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Prescriptive. Yes, that's true. Descriptive, descriptive statistics, diagnostic, or what, how, what, how, what will, and what now. Huh. So, what, how, what now? No, no, what will and what now. Okay. I just came up with that right now. I think that's a pretty good way to, you know, uh, sum this up. Which type of analytics is used to determine why something happened or is happening? Pre-diagnostic. You are a business analyst for a company that sells clothing and gear for outdoor activities. Your boss would like to know what each department's sales looked like this year compared with last year. Which type of analytics would you use to answer this question? Your boss would like to know what each, okay, sales look like. Your boss would like to know what each department's sales look like this year compared with last year. That would be descriptive, right? Because you're just describing this year and last year and then comparing them afterwards, but it's not really a how or a what will or a what now. It's more of just what. You are a business analyst. You are a business analyst for a company that sells clothing and gear for outdoor activities. After looking at the sales information for the last 5 summers, you and your boss have noticed that there was a sharp increase in the number of tents sold this year as compared with previous years. Your boss would like your help to understand why this occurred. Which type of analytics would you use to answer this question? I'm gonna say pre. Okay, so would like your help to understand why. So again, it's what, why, you know. So this is why this happened. Oh, here, whoops. Why this happened. It would be diagnostic. You are a business analyst for a company that, yep, after looking at regional sales information for the past 5 summers, you and your boss noticed that in the state of Utah, there is typically an increase in sales in mid-July that doesn't normally happen in other states. Your boss would like your help to understand why this is happening. Diagnostic. What is the data analytics lifecycle? The process of manipulating and analyzing data in a cyclical fashion. Hmm. Uh, 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 uh. The entire process of how data is created, collected, manipulated, and analyzed in order for businesses to complete their project goals. What is the difference with others? Manipulating and analyzing data in a cyclical fashion. Nope. Process of continually creating and collecting data business. No, I think it's a set of specific ones in this context for Pathway and Tableau. Which of the following are the 6 main topics included in a data analytics lifecycle framework? Which of the following are the 6 main topics included in a data analytics lifecycle framework? Okay, so discovery, data prep, planning, model building, um, huh, and then communicating results, and then operationalize. Model implementation sounds like it would be right, but I'm pretty sure that's included in model planning. You're a data analyst working on a project. During your task today, you and your team are going to begin implementing changes to the business by launching a pilot program. A pilot program. Okay, I think that might be the start of operationalize. Yeah, let's see. Hopefully I don't get owned here. Oh damn, really? The data analytics pipeline. Fuck, that is the very first thing I done. Oh, that's fine. 90%. Okay, what time is it? 1 hour. Let's keep going.
Hello again. I'm Sean Hurley, and I'm on the Learning Design team at Pastream and one of your instructors for this course. Welcome to the third week of Introduction to Business Analytics.
Oh shit, let me timestamp. Uh, week 3 start. 103:33.
Last week, you really focused on the data analytics lifecycle. You learned about real data-driven businesses, types of analytics used to solve business problems. You were also able to see how analysts
Okay, let's look at what we're doing here. Quality 720p. Yep, okay, week 1 we just asked a lot of what, and then week 2 we talked more about analytics. This week we are talking about, what is a project manager and what's a business analyst, and then project management basics versus um, project management basics for analytics.
use the data you may have in your new role as a business intelligence analyst. In some organizations, a business goals that will, because of all you have these responsibilities. First course in this certificate.
Okay. So this stuff is all good, like, you know.
Everything around you could
The
be
problem is we're 3 weeks in supposedly, um, and we still haven't touched Tableau. I really want to use Tableau, but it's taking time. All this theory crap. I'm not sure how important all this theory actually is. I feel like it's very fluffy.
considered a project, even a trip to the event. So what
Create a list, get to the store, find all items in the list, purchase all the items, get the grocery. Okay.
exactly is a project? It's a time-bound endeavor with the goal of creating a unique
Guys, I go to the Auckland University of Technology in New Zealand, and the worst paper I've ever had was project management. I fucking hate project management. I feel like a good team shouldn't really need to be managed. I feel like everyone just has equal say, kind of like communism. Project managers usually have zero fucking technical understanding of, what to do. It's such a stupid course. We used the dumbest like softwares and stuff. Anyways, let's
deliverable.
go.
That deliverable may be a product like an app or a bridge, a service,
Maybe if you were like a really crack project manager, you'd actually be very vital to the team. Yeah.
but a 100-person conference project strong communication skill.
Shit, I just realized I'm gonna get owned by the goddamn assignment later if I don't actually watch through this. Okay.
Everything around you could be
Notes.
considered a project, even a trip to the grocery store. You could break it into a series of tasks like
Sorry guys, I thought someone was at the door.
writing your grocery list, traveling to the store, purchasing your items, getting them home, and so forth. All of which are tasks in need of management. So, what exactly is a project? It's a time-bound endeavor with the goal of creating a unique deliverable. That deliverable may be a product like an app or a bridge, a service like setting up a customer support system, or a more intangible result like increasing a company's sales by 20%. It's easy to wrap your head around how to complete small projects like going to the grocery store, but imagine what it's like to complete a large
Okay, so deliverables, timelines, tasks,
project, like when New York City
straightforward.
started offering free preschool for all 4 and 5-year-old children. Even imagining the work that goes into planning a 500-person conference can make your head spin. There's a skill set and branch of knowledge that deals with how to optimize systems for getting work done efficiently.
Yeah, systems is a very interesting like field of business. Improving like I don't know, like is it project management? Project management sounds like such a mundane, boring ass, soul-sucking job. But like a systems engineer or systems manager or systems scientist, I don't know. That sounds a lot more interesting. Like making a restaurant run more efficiently or getting more out of your workers even by giving them like more breaks, etc. Or like getting more out of your workers without making their lives necessarily worse. That stuff is
It's
very interesting
called
to me.
project management. Project management is the practice of planning and executing a project from start to finish to achieve the goals of that project. But what does it mean to be a project manager in today's workforce?
Needs to be a
Project
soul-sucked dickhead.
managers are goal-oriented, adaptable, and organized problem solvers.
That is literally every fucking role. Like you could these are such these are these are such generic like traits of any worker. Literally you could be a waiter and you have to have this. Everyone solves problems, everyone benefits from being organized. Fucking
With
hell.
strong the even idea works at the intersection of planning, project, average.
Okay, whatever. A business analyst, your role will consist of working on a series of projects. Take a look at some projects you might work on as a business analyst. Web dev project, process improvement project, financial project, strategic project. Um, yeah, yeah. While working on a project, you would likely be working alongside a project manager. It's important to understand basic project management to effectively work with a project manager and to ensure the project succeeds. However, it's important to note that in some cases, there may not be a project manager working on your projects. You might fulfill both the role. That's what I'm saying. This is likely to be the case if the project is small or there's not enough money for both roles. In this scenario, it is, of course, vital to have an understanding of project management. I better be getting damn paid if my employer, like acknowledges that I'm also the project manager on top of being the business intelligence guy. Voice crack. As mentioned, in some cases, the business analyst will also be responsible for managing a project. But in many cases, these will be two distinct roles. Before diving further into the details of project management, it's important to understand the distinction between the roles of business analyst and project manager and how they work together. Yeah, that makes sense. Project manager versus business analyst. Okay, it's not very long. Okay, the roles of project manager and business analyst are not often defined consistently across organizations. In some organizations, the business analyst may also be the project manager. Yeah, that makes sense. Project manager is responsible for creating a project plan. Okay, basically it's just saying sometimes these get mixed up. Sometimes, yeah. What differentiates a project manager and a business analyst is their focus. The project and the solution. Okay. Project manager will focus on making sure the project is delivered on time and within budget. Will manage the project team and manage risks. On the other hand, the business analyst will focus on ensuring that the final product delivered by the project will be a good solution to the business problem. A business analyst will work with business owners and business stakeholders to make sure the scope of the solution is appropriate. Another way to think about the difference between project managers and business analysts is to remember the following. Project managers focus on the how, business analysts focus on the what and why. How is the project going to be done? What exactly will the project be and why will it be completed? You can see the individual overlapping responsibilities of the project manager and business analyst in the following diagram. Okay. Project solution, operational, strategic, project, business, the how versus the what and why. Collaboration, stakeholder collaboration, company goals, conflict management, communication. I bet that the project managers and the business intelligence team fucking hate the fuck out of each other. That's what I'm imagining now. Skills of a project manager. A project manager should be able to do the following: track resources and task dependencies, identify, mitigate risks, control costs and quality, identify when a project is behind schedule or off track, utilize management tools like Asana, Trello, or Airtable. I use Asana personally for myself, my own project management. A business analyst should be able to do the following: understand the business needs and capabilities in detail, provide a robust set of solutions to problems, communicate with a variety of stakeholders, use data to visualize and support solutions. And both of these roles are present on a team. It allows the project manager to keep focus on keeping the team and project on track while allowing the business analyst to ensure they are accurately eliciting the right business requirements. However, since these two roles will not be present in every organization, it's important for a business analyst to have a basic understanding of project management. Fair enough. Practice assignment 4, 14, 12. Okay, let's do this. Should be pretty easy. 5 questions maybe. 7 questions maybe. What is a project? Okay. Time-bound endeavor with the goal of creating a unique deliverable. Structured plan used to provide guidance for any tasks completed at a company. I'm gonna say this one. Which of the following statements is accurate? A business analyst focuses on the scope of the project, focuses on the scope of the solution. Nah, it's this one. Ooh, it could be this, but it could be a trick question because in some organizations they might mishmash the two. But this is what I remember reading from earlier. Project manager focuses on the scope of the project, while a business analyst focuses on the scope of the solution. Yeah. True or false? The roles of project manager and business analyst are typically defined very, very clearly and consistently. False. Which of the following are typically considered the responsibility of a project manager? Project progress? Question mark. Determining the how. Working towards project success. Yeah, I'm gonna say like all three. Business objectives. Could be that as well. Project manager versus business and no, it's project. Which is the following for the business analyst? Okay. Company success. Ooh. Why it will be completed. But it says determining what the project will be. Having a strategic focus. Operational. Tracking project progress. Nah. I remember this why it will be completed earlier, but I could be wrong. Which of the following are skills that a project manager should be able to do? Select all that apply. Mitigate risks. Timeline. Control costs and quality. Resources and task dependencies. I don't remember reading this earlier, but that kind of makes sense. Which of the following are skills that a business analyst should be able to do? Okay, visualize, solutions, needs and capabilities in detail. Okay. Let's go with that and see if I get owned. Good enough. Okay. The project lifecycle for business analytics project. The project lifecycle for business analytics projects. Time is it? 1:17. Let's keep going. Let's see here. In the next few lessons, you will learn about basic project management. Okay, I need to move the frickin' thing. Project management basics. This is like a freaking reading series, you know what I mean? What am I doing? What am I doing? It is really dark. Project lifecycle for business analytics projects. Project management basics. That is a super long chapter. Let's do 19. Frame to that. A project lifecycle is a series of phases that a project will go through from the beginning of the project to the end. Project lifecycle creates a simple structure for managing and organizing the project. In other words, having a lifecycle helps project managers and teams know what needs to be done and when. Wait. In the next few lessons, you will learn about the basic project management concepts that will help you with business analytics projects. The first is called the project lifecycle. Series of stages that an organism passes through during its lifetime. Okay. The following is an example of a very general project lifecycle. Initiation, planning, executing, closing. In this example, the project lifecycle is broken down into 4 phases that follow one after the other. A phase is a set of related project activities. Phases are important because they make it easier to manage projects. Distinct phases create natural points at which to review and assess progress before moving on to the next activities. The phases of a life cycle are often named initiating, planning, executing, and closing. The above life cycle with 4 phases is a simple life cycle that projects can follow. Often, however, the phases will look different from this example. Life cycles can vary by industry and project. A business a business business a business analytics project lifecycle might look something like this. Phase 1, initiating the project, analyze the problem, gather the requirement, developing the solution, testing and implementing. Read the following breakdown of each phase to understand what a business analyst and the project team would be doing in each phase. Initiating the project, analyzing the problem. Okay, let's read. Project would be formally authorized, key team members, business analysts, scope the project, identify the stakeholders, estimate things like cost and time. In this phase, analyzing the problem, a business analyst would try to understand the current state and work towards stakeholders having a shared understanding of the problem. Gathering requirements in this phase, a business analyst would document and share detailed project requirements, and they would validate and obtain approval of these requirements with stakeholders. Developing the solution. In this phase, the team would make a prototype of the solution and share it with stakeholders. This is kind of similar to the frickin' what were we doing last week? Introduction to Business Analytics. We talked about the data analytics lifecycle, I think. This is the project lifecycle. So quite similar. I need to read all of this because I'm gonna get quizzed later and get destroyed. Okay. Developing the solution, developing the solution. In this phase, the team would make a prototype of the solution and share it with stakeholders. Testing and implementing. In this phase, a business analyst would work with the test team to make sure the solution was meeting the requirements that were listed earlier in the project. Organizing the phases. While life cycles can vary from project to project, the organization of phases within life cycles can also vary. The phases can be as follows. Okay. Some projects work best with iterative phases. Iterative phases are phases that repeat over and over again in an iterative life cycle. Phase 1 initiating is completed, and then you might move back and forth a few times between. Okay, let me just organize the phases. Sequential, iterative. Oh, I see. Some phases are, like this. So sequential means like consecutive in a sequence, 1, 2, 3. Iterative means you come back and forth, like it might look like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Overlapping is sort of like phase 1 and phase 2 have this kind of like overlapping time frame where you're kind of in phase 1 but you're also in phase 2 because phase 1 hasn't ended fully. Yeah. For example, in the following image, okay, this is sequential, this is iterative, and then, yeah, okay. Pretty straightforward, I would like to think. In the next lesson, you will learn about another important project management concept, the project charter. Okay, quite a lot of reading. The next project management concept for business analytics is the project charter. Am I even recording, by the way? Thank God I am. Have you ever tried to get something done without everyone involved being on the same page? Yes. Imagine trying to plan a group trip without first deciding where or when you're going. Accomplishing a task with a group of people requires some shared understanding of what you're trying to accomplish. That's a pretty good way to put it, actually. Why you are trying to accomplish it and how you will accomplish it. A project charter answers these questions. Project charter overview. A project charter is a short document that describes the project and authorizes the start of the project. The charter serves as the foundation for the project and it is used for planning and resourcing. The project charter can be simple as a one-page document. Its purpose is to do the following: authorize the project's existence, formally provide the project with the sponsor's commitment, document a direct link between the project and the strategic objectives of the organization. The project charter can be written in collaboration with the sponsor. The sponsor is a person who owns the project and who also provides resources for the project. This collaboration results in a better understanding of the project's purpose, objectives, and expected benefits. It also provides a definitive, shared understanding of the project's goals. Not all project charters are the same. Different project charters will have different components. Below is a list of components to consider for a business analytics project charter. This particular charter is for a project on a farm. The farm needs to accurately forecast produce sales for next year so the farm can reach its goals. And then we have a bunch of stuff. So basically it's a document, introduce, opportunity, it has a bunch of stuff. And then it says description, business analytics example. And you're just defining things, case, scope, constraints. Actually, I kind of remember, yeah, in project management, we did something like this. I just want to use Tableau, bro. Fucking hell. They've taken $80 from out of my pocket because it's been like a week. It's been like, yeah, a week since I started Tableau. I mean, Coursera. There's so much to read. Fuck. When engaging in a project, it's important to structure your approach. This means planning each step and phase to work towards a final deliverable. In order to do this successfully, you must employ the right project management methodologies. Many projects can involve an ever-changing list of requirements. Remember that requirements are a set of needs informed by relevant stakeholders and data that are used to design business solutions. Business analysts use various techniques to elicit these requirements from stakeholders, with one of the most common techniques being interviews. The more a business analyst speaks with stakeholders or uncovers new information using data, the more the scope of their proposed solutions might grow and change. Projects must ideally be delivered on time and on budget, and this constantly changing nature of a business analytics project can make that difficult. In these kinds of projects, project management must focus on producing value throughout the project as opposed to sticking to a defined plan with a singular outcome at the end. This requires business analysts or those managing certain projects to take an agile approach to project management. And I'm pretty sure this is a business. Let's look up what is the agile approach. Agile approach. Also, give me a second. I need to freaking turn on the lights because it's too dark. And I'm back. Oh yeah, I feel like I'm pretty sure we've discussed this in AUT. Due to its focus on building over documenting, Agile is often called developing by doing. In order to be considered agile, a project needs to create tangible deliverables within short time frames, usually between 2 and 4 weeks, known as sprints. Within a sprint, an agile team focuses on completing a set number of tasks instead of working on all project work at once. Agile project teams are designed to build fast learning from each stage as they go. Agile is also an iterative process where new work is created and processes are improved after each sprint. Each stage of the business analytics process can be closely aligned with an agile process. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The project itself may be planned as several agile sprints, with each sprint focusing on one or two steps of the process. For example, the first sprint likely focuses on understanding the business needs, available data, and current performance of the business. The next one or two sprints might focus on gathering the business requirements for the problem you are hoping to solve. In any of these sprints, an analyst might uncover a new business need, further their understanding of the problem, or rule out a solution. So basically, these sprints are just like little phases, like super short phases. These learnings, prompted by a bias towards execution, justify altering the project plan. Methodologies, agile versus waterfall. Oh my god, what are these names? The agile approach is in contrast to traditional project management, often called waterfall. In traditional project management, all project work must be completed before a final outcome can be reached. To visualize the conceptual differences between waterfall and agile project management, review the following diagram. It's pretty weird. So it's like there's 3 phases still. But what's the difference? Like, graph theory means this is the same. It's going to one direction. I kind of know. There is 3 targets though. Yeah. One outcome. I hate project management. It sucks. Fuck project management. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. The last project management concept for business analytics covered in this course is agile. In this course is agile planning. Agile planning principles. Holy fuck. I've read like 10 pages by now. I was never a good reader. Okay. Agile planning allows the plan to be flexible, nimble, and responsive to change, which is necessary for projects where the desired outcome might not be clear at the beginning of the project. Regardless of whether you practice all levels of agile planning or just a few, the following principles are the best practices you can follow for projects. Continually inspect and update plans. Plan for small, frequent releases. Welcome change. Agile planning components. Planning, sprint planning, daily planning. During project planning, defines a section within the project charter. What tasks can be done in the upcoming sprint? Daily is day to day. Okay. Practice assignment 5. Pretty sure it's 5. Maybe I'm wrong. Practice assignment 5. You know what? I'm just do that. Yep. 013430. Oops, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, it's just a practice assignment, so let's gauge how much I know. It's only 8 questions. What is the term given to a series of phases that a project will go through from the beginning of the project to the end of the project? I'm gonna say project charter. Ah, shit. Nah, charter is like the document. I'm gonna say project phases. Keep it simple. During which project phase would the project be scoped and the stakeholders identified? Initiating the project. If certain phases repeat over and over and again, what kind of project lifecycle is this? Uh, Iterative, meaning you go repeat itself, you know. What is the purpose of a project charter? Select all that apply. Authorizing the project existence. Authorizing the project's existence. 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 Fuck. Mumble mouth. Formally providing the project with the commitment of the sponsor. We'll come back to this. True or false, project charters can vary by industry and project. Different charters will have different components, yeah. Which of the following components are found in a project charter? Select all that apply. Deliverables, business case, goals, scope, and then what opportunity is. Explain the basic different, okay. What are the 3 levels of agile planning? Sprint, project, and daily. Agile has multiple outcomes, whereas waterfall approach has only one. Okay, let's go back here. What is the purpose of a project charter? Documenting a direct link between the project and the strategic objectives of the organization. It has the word strategic, so I'm guessing that's not right. Outlining the detailed project schedule and task assignment. I think that would be the project phases document, no? Providing an overview of the technical specifications and requirements for the project. I think these go somewhere else, but I could be wrong. Business case, okay. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna put this. Outlining the detailed project schedule. I'm gonna say that not this. Technical specifications and requirements for the project. Yeah, 'cause like the budget and stuff, okay. I'm just guessing here, fellas. I might get owned, but I usually don't, so we're in a hot streak. 82%. It's fine. We're trying to get to the Tableau part. Week 3 recap. Fuck you. We're going next. Okay. Project management for analysts. 3 left, 3 every 8 hours. Let's see if we get owned here. Oh shit, we should probably put the plan on A. Graded assignment 201 38 36. Okay. Let's answer it bottom to top for a change of pace. What are the 3 levels of agile planning? Okay. Strategic, project, no. It's sprint, daily, and project. Okay. Yep, that. Which of the following components are often found in a project charter? Mm, Goals, scope, risk management plan. True or false, project charter will, no. Which of the following is the purpose of a project charter? Authorize, commitment. What is the term given to a series of phases? Project phases. I'm gonna say project schedule. I don't know if I was actually right a while ago. Should have checked. Fuck, I'm dumb. Project. Which of the following are typically considered the responsibility of a business analyst? A strategic focus, company success. Yep. Which of the following are skills that a project manager should be able to do? Mitigate risks, timeliness, resources, control cost and quality. Yep. Which of the following statements is accurate? Project to project, business to solution. Uh, false. Okay, let's see how we do, fellas. Hopefully we pass. And I've survived actually. It's kind of low. Oh my god, I wish it just told you the answer. So we had 2 mistakes here. And that was enough to take me down to 80%. I almost failed. That's fine. Okay. Welcome to week 4. How much more do we have actually? Course wrap up is next. Oh, wow. Shit. I suppose we could try and finish it tonight. There's only 20 minutes left, to be honest. Okay. Holy shit, 45 minutes of reading. 45 minutes of reading. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy crapper. Holy crapper. Okay. I'm gonna take a break and hang out with my brother first. Give me a second, guys. Hey guys, I'm back. Um, as you can see, it was 10 past midnight. And so I think I'm gonna end the video here. I think it was like an hour and 42 minutes. Not too long, not too short, but better than 0. So I'm gonna close this off. We can do a quick wrap up. Let's do a wrap. Okay, yeah. So that was episode. I'm pretty sure this is episode 3. I might actually have to do a double take on that. Oh no, this might be episode 1. No, this is episode 2. What the fuck am I saying? Um, I've been really enjoying this series. It's a lot of reading. It's very different compared to programming and math. But yeah, really need to get to that part where we actually use the tools and Tableau, because that's probably, king. That's number 1 when it comes to learning business intelligence. So, hello. Yeah, there. That's a bit better. Sorry for the weak volume. I'm about to head to bed. Um, yeah, been working on my S sound and my Z sound and, trying to mix the two. But I just want to say thank you for watching. Um, the uploads have definitely slowed down a bit since I first started this YouTube channel, which isn't the best. But I've been spending my time doing other productive things like, my brother Magno always jokes about how I have a lot of businesses. Um, a lot of businesses. Yeah. He jokes about how I have a lot of businesses. I have a jewelry business, I have this business, I have freaking the data science business, I have the clothing business, his business. Um, yeah. I spend my time doing a lot of things, a lot of making really. I really enjoy it though. I feel like making is sometimes productive. Consuming is never productive. So I spend my time, my free time, making stuff, all sorts of stuff, physical stuff, digital stuff, mental stuff. But anyways, enough of the rambling. I will see you guys tomorrow for a math video, statistics. Episode 3 of season 2, I believe, speedrunning math. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. And remember, talk better.